And joining me now to talk more about this year's Community Connect are two of the faces we saw in that fantastic video. We have Dr. Madhava Sivapuram, the Community Connect Manager, and Zahedul Islam, the Chair at the Union Community Advisory Panel and Director of the Treatment, Procurement and Supply Management Department for Alliance of Public Health in Ukraine. Welcome to you both. Madhava, if I can start with you, tell us exactly what is Community Connect?
Community Connect is a very interesting space where communities come together, interact with each other, feel they are at one family, one place. But the word communities has been expanding a lot. It is not related to only the affected communities. The civil society members also come into the place. And the word itself says the community connect. All of the communities coming in together, they are connecting, interacting, discussing, and talking to everyone over here. That is Community Connect in a brief two lines.
Yeah, those two words say it all really, doesn't it? Community Connect. It says what it does on the tin, as we like to say. And I know you've had a very busy day. It's been an incredibly active area, hasn't it? And Zahedul, what is UCAP and what is UCAP's role within the union specifically?
Yeah, so I think UCAP is, as perhaps you already said, Union Community Advisory Panel. So the role of UCAP is to advise union on the issues of communities, challenges or their concerns, what is happening around the communities. UCAP are the members of the communities. So we elect UCAP members in order to be part of this group. It's not like we are picking. So they submit their application, and then a smaller group of selection committee select those individuals who have been, actively working in communities. They're activists, and they have, a lot of engagement with the communities. So idea of that, they can bring the voices from the ground to the UCAP, and then we can translate those messages into policies and guidelines, and also some kind of action-oriented activities in the union, as well as like the Community Connect. So we can also translate those messages through Community Connect programs. So that's the role of UCAP. But we would like to see maybe more is happening. So that would be kind of, in short.
A call to action. So maybe as a result of you saying that, your wish will be your command. The next question is to both of you. If I can start with Madhava first. Why is Community Connect so important as part of the overall union conference?
It's a very interesting question because if you look at tuberculosis has been present for past 100 years. And the union conference serves as the largest conference in the world. And it's the largest gathering for all the researchers, scientists, public health experts. But if communities who are the ones that are affected are not part of the union conference, then we cannot eliminate TB. It's that being said, without communities we cannot eliminate TB. Hence, communities should be a part of the union conference in some way or the other way. Hence, Community Connect's necessity is explained and self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's an interesting response. Same question to you, Zahedul.
Well, I would say, we say nothing happens without us. We means community, right? So, yeah, so it means community. So we want to be, as a community, want to be on the table of decision making. And for us to be able to have a safe space to talk about what we are feeling and how community actually can express their feeling, that is very important. So that's why for union to have a community connected space where community can come together at the same time, there are scientific sessions are happening. So there's also connection between these scientists and the community. So together we can end TB, not alone. So that's why joint and all together, doing this together is very important.
And Madhava, just tell us about, obviously we're back in person now, but obviously the event was online for quite a long time, wasn't it? So just tell us about Community Connect and actually what engagement did it have offline and what has changed in the last 3 years?
So going us online has given Community Connect space a lot of experimentation to do. We have become more inclusive. Not only that, if you look at Community Connect sessions, they are no longer discussed only by communities. it has become a it has become a bridge between communities and the scientists, doctors, as well as researchers. So whenever you look at community sessions in general, you have a survivor or a civil society person, you have a scientist, or you have a researcher, you have a public health policy expert, and then all of these coming together and conducting sessions. It's no longer only scientists discussing themselves, it's no longer only communities discussing themselves. It's a collaborative effort that has been brought up, and that is being reflected in the Community Connect program. Since that is the major change, us doing it online, which we were able to bring it offline as well this year.
And Zahedul, how does the Union Community Advisory Panel function within and actually help design Community Connect every year?
So the process starts actually quite early for designing of Community Connect. For example, we are finishing the conference this year, and for preparation of next Community Connect start immediately right after. So that makes it, your work is challenging, but you can plan it. So the idea is that we have to think about the space where, for example, today's space like this conference, we would have to have bigger space, but it is not there. So we have to work on it. That is a challenge that, you have to work on whatever you get. So, and then we have to design the program, try to merge it. And within the UCAP, we have many members, like 7, 8 members, that we have to work with them. So we usually have every 2 weeks sort of a meeting, so where we start discussing what are the interests from the community that they would like to see in the programs. So we design those programs, we make different tracks, and based on that we send the tracks out for community to apply for it. And then when it happens, then you have like selection committee going through all of those submissions and selecting it, and then it comes the abstracts and the material part. But then you have also organizational part. We also need to match the Community Connect space with the programs that we design. So it needs to fit with your schedules and everything. So managing all of those things, not seeing the venue itself, actually challenging, So you can design so many things, but you have to physically have the, possibilities to do it. But so that is some kind of challenge, but we are working through kind of slowly to see how to improve it. And also with the conference committee, we have regular meetings in order to understand what is possible, what is not possible. So, and that gives us an opportunity to kind of also what Madhava was saying, that trying to converge between science and community. I think that's how we do it. But so as a Community Connect members, I think we are all volunteers working, giving our own time, actually. So this is not like, so that's why sometimes that also become a challenge for finding everybody's time to convene in this kind of work. So, yeah.
Well, on a voluntary basis, it sounds like a very thorough and sort of thought-provoking program that you've put together, considering the fact that there's time constraints. So that's really interesting. I'd love to find out, Madhava, what is new on this year's Community Connect?
So when you ask me new, I wouldn't use the word new. I would say, how are we reinventing the wheel with community engagement? What are we doing new in terms of community engagement? That's how I would put it. So what we tried to do is, we had something called, we tried to use an inclusive approach, where we wanted to involve all the community members, but we couldn't bring them all because of the visa issues. We couldn't do that because of, they cannot afford it since we are having it in France. So we put a community canvas where there are survivor stories, there are pictures and artists that has been put up over there, so people could do this. The community member is represented over in Community Connect, even though he is not over here. That's something that we have experimented this year. And not only that, we are also experimenting something called, always communities and civil societies wants to showcase the work that they have done, and they find place in Community Connect. So what we put is, we have put down posters with the QR codes over there. They could simply scan a QR code of their work that could be done, and anybody could simply have a look at it. So this way, they don't have to spend money on printing posters. They don't have to spend money on coming all the way, oh, I'm not here, but still they would want to access it. These might be very small and minor changes, but this is something that we are doing every year, Every year we're trying to reinvent something or other sort of community engagement, so that we reach a level where communities would feel like, oh, this is my home, this is my space, is what that's all. Those are some of the things that we did this year.
Yeah, and again, a question for both of you, and you sort of answered it in some respects, but I just want to get your thoughts on this. Sort of challenges and difficulties when you're actually designing Community Connect this year. I mean, you've already talked about it's volunteers, so there's time constraints. What else would you add to that? And Zahedul, I'll go to you first.
Yeah. So I think challenges-wise, distance in terms of how we work, because also time difference. Even we have time, but you can't convene a meeting because people are situated in many different parts of the world. So finding a common time is also very challenging. And secondly, I think for Community Connect, we also kind of see that, as Madhava mentioned, other challenges that people cannot come. So this year, Union actually has sponsored 100 free registration for community members for the registration only. But even then, people, they need to find the money for travel, they need to find money for accommodations, visa, and etc. So that's add up to the challenge in terms of getting community coming to the conferences. So, and another issue is that funding as a whole, if we want to organize something lavish, of course we need money, and where the money comes from, so that is always an issue. So, I mean, again, we are working with the union to see how we can leverage resources that is available and what best result we can achieve. So that's, and hopefully going forward in the next conference, it will be in Indonesia.
Yep.
So where I hope that we will have a better access and better possibilities. It will be, at least the venue-wise, much more cost-effective, and we'll have much more access for communities to be present there.
And more room for you as well.
Exactly, yes.
And just finally, your thoughts on that as well. Same question to you.
So, of course, Zahedul has mentioned all the challenges that I have to put on, but when I come as a Community Connect manager, the designing of the Community Connect space and making people interact over there, it comes with a challenge where what is the venue that is being designed, whether the conference venue is happening in a high burden country or whether the conference venue is happening on a low burden country. The amount of communities that are going to be there in the conference, are we going to have only 100? Are you going to have 250? Are you going to have 1,000? So these are the challenges that we have to navigate through during the whole year and understand and change and adapt every single time, depending upon the registrations, depending upon who is coming, who is not coming, and all of that. You won't believe me if I say that I have redesigned Community Connect 4 times this year, and even last night I had to redesign something that was there. So we have to be at one point of time, all of our creative juices, it kind of dries up, So it all depends upon the venue, place, spot, and multiple challenges. It's a multivariable factor that comes in when we are designing Community Connect. So there is no one single challenge that I could point out, but there would be multiple challenges at every one single step, I would say.
Yeah, I suppose when the location changes,
Yes.
the challenges change as well. Gentlemen,
Creative
absolute pleasure.
innovation.
Creative innovation. And I do believe you that it's changed multiple times as well. Thank you both so much. That was Madhava Sivapuram, the Community Connect Manager, and also the Chair of the UCAP, Zahedul Islam, and Director of the Treatment, Procurement and Supply Management Department for Alliance for Public Health in Ukraine. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us. Now.